Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Clippers Off Podcast. The place where we turn our clippers off.
This is where we turn our clippers off.
Today, Baba G's not here again, unfortunately, but trust me, he'll be back here soon for the next episode. Today we're talking to a very, very, very special and important guy. He's had a battle with life, mentally and physically. He nearly lost his life, mentally and physically. Obviously, financially, he must have went down and crashed, but he did not burn. This guy's been through it. He's been through the mills, man. Yeah? So I'm gonna let him introduce himself to you, right? But before we carry on, don't forget to
Share, subscribe, tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell that friend, to make everyone see Clippers Off Podcast. So just tune in.
And
Just
smash that like,
involved.
man.
Yeah, smash it. So up, like Drake, you know?
Alright. Straight. Don't forget to ring that bell, share this Ken. With me and Baba G's find that a lot of you guys are like watching this our podcast now, but none of you are liking it. You understand?
Haters, I don't care. I
What is that? An 18 thing? What's that about? What's that about? Like the thing, man. Subscribe to it and share it to your brethren and your friends. This podcast is really, really important. Okay, it's really, really important. Yeah. So Baba G, wish you was here, my brother. Right, Uncle Pat, gonna hand it over to another episode of Clippers Off Podcast. Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Clippers Off Podcast. This is where we turn our clippers off, right? I'm sorry, Baba G, you're not here today. I wish you was here, man, because this is a really deep subject for a lot of people out there, especially for a lot of Nubian, aka black males out there. I'm sitting here with my guy, Jeff Thompson, yeah? And I swear Jeff Thompson was the strongest man in the world.
Jeff Capes.
You're Jeff Thompson, Jeff Capes. You're the strongest.
Well, I am the strongest.
Now you're the strongest. Jeff Capes, man, just took your title. You get me? So today we're talking a touchy subject, yeah. But it's a subject that not a lot of people talk about, and more people need to talk about this subject. Today we're talking about prostate cancer, yeah. Did you know 1 in every 4 black males that have prostate cancer? Let me introduce you now. I'm Uncle Pat, you know that? Let me introduce you now to Jeff Thompson.
Hey, Jeff Thompson.
How you doing, Jeff?
Good to be here.
And let's
Good to
give
be
one
here.
as well.
Yeah.
It's the man thing.
All right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
tell us a bit about yourself, Jeff.
Wow. A bit about myself. I mean, how long have we got? You know,
Well,
because there's just too much about me.
We got like 30 minutes. We're going to put it in and we're going to touch on it and we're going to smash it.
Right.
If it goes over, so be it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm Jeff Thompson, as I've said before.
Yeah.
Generally was in the music industry. Practically, well, I say all my life.
Yeah.
Used to run also a bodyguard company back in the 90s.
Okay.
Which was pretty successful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I was basically, there as a people's person, protector of the people.
Yeah.
Just doing what I thought was the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Living my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we want to speed up, well, also been involved in martial arts for
Do your thing, man.
nearly 20 odd years.
Yeah. What martial arts did you do?
I did Wing Chun.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
you're dangerous. Let me just move back a little bit.
That's all right. That's all right, because that's even a defense there, you know.
Yeah.
We got it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so going on from there, I just was getting around, moving around the world quite a lot.
Yeah.
Getting an insight of how other people live and so on.
Yeah.
And that was solely through the industry, the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
Traveling with different artists here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in 2018, my life took a sudden turn.
Okay, but before you go into that,
Yeah.
Jeff, What background are you from? Jamaica?
What background?
Can I hear a little twang of
It's called me Yankee Yardy.
Yankee Yardy, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What age did you get over there?
Oh God, I got here when I was
7 years old.
7 years old.
And man still got his twang.
Well, you know, you could take the man out of the country, but can't take the country out of the man.
Right. So, sorry to cut you. Carry on, man. Tell me the
That's
story.
all good. So if we're going on from 2018,
Yeah.
I remember let's say just at the end of 2017, you know, I decided I wanted to go and check a friend of mine. I hadn't seen him for a good while. He was my sparring partner.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen him for probably about, say, 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
And,
Sorry.
you know, I went down to South London and I saw him, you know, on the street. Just like that, you know, like heading towards the Tesco's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I approached him. I saw him kind of walking a little strange. You know, like his middle leg was a bit too heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, what, can I speak directly here?
Yeah, you know, I have to beep it out. I wanted to get out to everyone, so
Okay. Yeah, like you know. And I said to him, bro, why are you walking like that? I said, you're walking like you're John Wayne, you know?
Yeah.
And he took me aside, you know, said I'm a typical joker at times. And he said, well, you know, Jeff, what I'm going to tell you is going to shock you. Yeah, come on, man, nothing can shock me. I said, the only thing is I miss beating the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, he said, look, I've had prostate cancer. Oh, what? No crap. I said, what's that? Yeah?
Yeah.
And he said to me, well, it's something that, you know, affects the male anatomy.
Yeah.
So it wasn't being too direct.
Yeah.
Yeah? I saw a bit of embarrassment on his face straight away, even to tell me. So I said, anyway, how did you know you had prostate cancer? Because you're a fit guy.
Yeah.
You know, you eat well. You know, you don't, not involved in any alcohol or anything negative.
Yeah.
But he said, well, you know, I just had my regular MOT. You know, and this time the doctor suggested, you know, why don't you have what you call a PSA blood test?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he decided to have this blood test, and a couple of weeks after that, he got called back in, saying we got your blood test results, and you know, your PSA levels are high. Yeah. Now, when he said PSA levels, I thought, what's that? You know, it's a test they do within the blood. Yeah. Yeah. And he said it was high. So I said, what do you call high? He said, mine was about 7.2.
What is the prostate? Yeah.
Right.
And where is it?
The prostate basically is a walnut-shaped organ that sits in the back of the just underneath the bladder. Yeah. Yeah. And what the prostate does, it's where a man we can speak openly.
Yeah, go on.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas the semen, the sperm, is built within the testicles.
Yeah.
It's created in your testicles.
Yeah.
Now, in order to impregnate a woman, the sperm, right, when it leaves the testicles and it goes up into the prostate.
Yeah.
Now the prostate is where it's mixed, yeah, and then it becomes semen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then from there it's ejaculated through the urethra.
Yeah.
So the sperm itself can't really do anything while it's down here. Yeah. Yeah. But when it gets up into the prostate, it's mixed. Yeah. And that's when it's called semen. Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, that's what's ejaculated through the male's penis down the urethra. Yeah. 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 And that is there to help to impregnate. Okay. Yeah? Without the prostate, there's no way you're gonna have a chance of impregnating a woman. Okay. Unless you've done what you call a sperm saving mechanism.
Yeah, and it goes deeper than that. Yeah. It goes a lot deeper than that, but we're gonna get to that. Yeah. And we're gonna be open about this. If you don't mind, we're gonna be very open about it, because these things, I got my dad's still alive, and these things we need to know, man, and we don't know enough about it. We get scared of it. You said you got a blood test to get it done. Yeah. Back in the day, it was a finger in the anus, right? Am I right? Am I wrong?
Yes and no.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're gonna clarify that. And a lot of black men say, no, sir, me go and get married. So a lot of black men just shied away from it. Yeah, this is what I'm just saying what I know in the barbershop talking to people. Yeah, right. I might be wrong. You can correct me. But a lot of black men shied away from it because they all they thought about was that, oh, man putting their finger in their bum, and it's not good enough. Yeah. So carry on.
Right.
If I'm wrong, just correct me.
Okay. Yeah. What generally happens when you get a test for the PSA blood test? It's almost like giving blood.
Yeah.
But basically, you get your blood taken.
Yeah, I took mine as well.
Takes about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Of that,
yeah.
And then now after that, you'll get your results in, like I say, normally a week, 2 weeks. Yeah. Sometimes you got to get on that phone and ring your doctor and say, "What's my results?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you do get your results, always remember what level they say you're at. If it's 4.2 or whatever, always. And so, what was the other part I was supposed to clarify? Yeah. Now, the retinal examination, the DRE, right, which is the finger up the backside, right? Now, you don't have to do that. Yeah. Most of the time, the doctor will insist you need to have a retinal examination, only because the only way to physically feel the prostate is through
of course.
the rear end. Yeah. But now they have a MRI scan. Which is relatively accurate. Yeah. And now that MRI scan could say, look, this guy has got cancer.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from there, just to get even more clarification, they do what they call a biopsy.
Okay.
Now this is the part which is a bit intrusive. It's not a finger, but it's a probe.
Yeah. Yes. So, Jeff, what is PSA stuff?
All right. PSA stands for prostate specific antigen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is something which is tested in the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like we say, the prostate PSA is basically tested done through a PSA blood test. Yeah, where they take a sample of your blood and so on, send it out to a laboratory, give you a while and come back and you get the results. And depending on what your results is, always make sure that you keep the reading. Yeah. Yeah. If it's 3.1, 3.2 or 4 point whatever, always keep that reading for your next test.
Yeah.
So you could tell whether it's gone up.
Or lower, yeah, man. So tell me, oh man, so after you spoke to your friend, after you spoke to your guy on the street, tell me, start from there. Tell me the story how you went along from there.
Yeah, okay. After speaking to him, I decided the next day I'm going to my doctor. Yeah. Yeah. And before that, I did ask him, what kind of problems are you having? He said, I just had the general back pains. Yeah. And that we put down to the amount of training that we used to do. Yeah. Yeah. So I went to my doctor and I said to my doctor, look, I would like to have a PSA blood test. He looked at me and said, why?
Same muscle, doctor said. You went to your doctor and said you want a prostate test, right? Old was you?
I was 54.
54 years old?
54 years old.
So, before I go on, what right does any doctor have to ask a man why he needs a prostate test?
Exactly.
What right? It's your right to have it. Yeah. Especially from 54 years old. Yeah. I'm 52 years old. And when I asked my doctor for a prostate test, my doctor said the same thing. Why do you need a prostate test? And I said, because I'm a black male. I'm 52 years old. And one in 4 black males die of prostate cancer. Yeah. Looked at me like, okay, we're booking. Carry on.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, I'm glad you said that because, the thing is, a lot of doctors are practitioners, general practitioners.
General practitioners.
Yeah? So they're not learned in that department.
Google's
yeah. And, I remember when the doctor said that to me, I looked at him and I went, because he knows me pretty well. And I said, come on. Yeah. Right? For me to come here and ask for a PSA blood test, you must know something's wrong. Yeah. I said, I keep getting back pains. Yeah. Right? You keep sending me back and forth to physio. Yeah. It's not doing anything. Yeah. Yeah. So, the thing, my doctor's pretty good. Yeah, I have to give him that. Yeah. So he said to me, okay, we'll do a blood test, here and now. Yeah. So we done the blood test. Then he says to me, do you mind if we do a DRE? Yeah. I went, what's that? And he went, basically, finger up the
Yeah.
rear end.
Mm.
I froze just like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You know, I went, okay, is it necessary?
Mm.
And he said, yeah, that's the only way we could physically,
Straight away.
yeah.
Mm.
So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, damn, look at the size of this man's finger.
The Buddha finger.
Right? And I don't normally check men's hands.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm there eyeballing this guy's fingers and I'm thinking, you want to put that up there where the sun don't shine, you know? And he was like, well, you know, he sort of gave me this no choice type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I was glad he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought, you know what? It's just between me and the doctor.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said to him, all right, how long is it going to take?
Yeah.
And he said, oh, by the time you blink, it's all over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he told me again that fetal position.
Yeah.
And man, I was so tight, you could hear me squeak, right? The man says to me, Mr. Thompson, you need to relax.
Yeah.
I said, how can I relax?
Yeah.
Yeah. What made me laugh is when he said to me, just think of paradise, think of somewhere. I went, what the? So obviously at this point, I got up, all right? But anyway, you know, I got into the position. I thought, okay, this is for medical purpose, right? Go ahead, he did it. He did what he had to do. Then it was like over by the time I blinked, as he said.
Yeah.
And he says to me, oh, just like that. And I went, is everything okay? He said, no, your prostate is lumpy.
Yeah.
I went, lumpy?
Mm.
What's wrong with that? He said, no, it should be smooth.
Smooth. Yeah.
Very smooth.
Mm.
Okay? So he said, you know what? Because you've been complaining so much about this back pain for so many years,
Yeah.
right? Let me organize for you to go straight and get a biopsy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I didn't know nothing about all of this. This is all new to me.
Mm.
So anyway, he's on the phone, he got onto a hospital and he said, okay, let me try another place. Now this was a private hospital he contacted and he said, can we get this gentleman like almost the next day, if not today?
Yeah.
And they said, you know, he could come down today.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and said, do you mind going? I said, well, this must be the procedure.
Mm.
So I went along and they explained to me the whole thing. It took the whole day because obviously I was rushed in basically.
Yeah.
So I went through the procedure and I won't describe the whole, you know, procedure, but it wasn't nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was demeaning.
Mm.
It felt rather embarrassing and intrusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. The finger was nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt when they were clipping either sides of my prostate, even though they gave me a numbing solution
Yeah.
so that I wouldn't feel too much pain,
Mm.
right? I felt each clip,
Mm.
clip, 6 on either side, yeah? Now, after all this happened, my whole confidence started to get rocked. Because I'm pretty a confident man.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, what the hell's going on here? What's going on? Is this normal?
Yeah.
Or is something wrong? Or is it so bad that they're having to rush this whole thing?
Yeah.
So psychologically now I'm starting to have all these negative thoughts.
Did you go on your own?
I went by myself. Because I didn't know anything about
Yeah,
all this,
okay, yeah.
So I went by myself. Well, anyway, look, after the biopsy and so on, I said to, you know, because I'm quite inquisitive, I said, how's the blood going to come out? Because obviously you guys have
Yeah.
gone and, you know, bruised up my prostate.
Yeah.
They said, okay, it will come out through urine
Yeah.
or through ejaculation.
Yeah.
I went, what? So that means that if I have, you know,
Yeah.
I'm going to be ejaculating blood?
Yeah.
Do you know how embarrassing that is?
Yeah.
You know? And I thought, this is nonsense.
Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't want to know that this stuff is inside me. So every time I went to the bathroom and I peed, I'm looking to see if it's red. It ain't red. There's nothing coming out.
Mm.
So I'm thinking, well, what's going on here?
Mm.
Yeah? So then, you know, I did the deed and make sure I wore a sock.
Yeah.
Yeah? When I looked in the sock, man, I was just black. I rang up the doctor and I said, you know, this thing coming out of me is black. I mean, like black, malacta black. And he says to me, don't worry too much about it, right? It's probably brown, but it looks black to you. Yeah. If it's brown, then that means it's okay because it's dry blood. But if it's red, then it's a problem. Yeah. Now, after that procedure, I wasn't confident. I wasn't happy that I was okay. Yeah. So in no time, right, I got back my results. In 3 days, I got my results back, which they told me it would take 2 weeks. But I got it back in 3 days. Then I got called into the hospital. Again, I went by myself. And when I got there, I saw an oncologist and Macmillan nurse. So I went in, this guy said to me, do you come by yourself? I said, yeah, sure. I went, I meant to bring somebody. And he went, oh, you know, just for support. I went, support? So what have you got to tell me? Let's get on with it now. So I sat down and he said to me, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, but you got prostate cancer.
Wow.
I went, what?
No. Stop right there. So the doctor told you got prostate cancer. I know what came out your mouth, what you're talking about, but what was the words saying in your head? You know you got that voice in your head. What did it say? How did it hit you? Did it hit you like a ton of waves? Did you feel like, you know, relaxed? Did you feel like you're not even there? How did it hit you?
I just said, I zoned out. And all I saw was this man's mouth moving.
Right.
I weren't hearing him. It's like you're watching a movie and everything just go, ooh. First thing is, I'm going to die. That was it. I haven't done this, I haven't done that, I haven't finished this. Everything was rushing through my head.
Have you got children?
Right? I'm going to die. I'm too young to die. That's all that was going on. I went, hold on a minute. You're telling me I got prostate cancer? I said, you guys gave that to me. All that prodding and poking and all going through the back passage and then going into a place that's never been touched before. Right? How am I so sure you guys didn't cause me to get an infection? And he looked at me and said, I could understand what you're saying, and that's why we gave you antibiotics and all this kind of stuff to prevent that. But I'm sorry, but this is the results, and it's 100%. I said, I want a second opinion. Right? I want a second opinion. And he said, even if you do get a second opinion, it's going to come back with the same results. But you know what? I did have another biopsy.
Okay. You went through it again?
I went through it again because this time I was prepared. I know what it's about. And now it came back positive. I've got prostate cancer, so I had to accept it. Now this was in end of March.
What year?
Right? 2018.
Okay.
And I sat back and I thought, no, my son rang me on the 29th of March. It was his birthday. And he said, I'll never forget my son's birthday. And he called me and said, Dad, what day is it today? I just, I keep talking about and he was like, whoa.
Wow.
Because I love my kid. I would do nothing to hurt my son. Right? And he was, Dad, are you okay? Of course I'm not. I got cancer. I'm going to die one day. Are you thinking about your damn birthday?
Wow,
Right? I went, damn, is this me? I just switched. And my boy, I heard him on the other line crying. And I had no kind of remorse. Because all I was thinking about is that I'm going to die. Eventually, you know, trying to cut a long story really short, they decided, okay, here are the options. They gave me about 4 options. I didn't hear them. And gave me a lot of leaflets to take home and go read. Who the hell's going to be reading leaflets at a time like that? So then I started, you know, contacting my family members, and I said, look, is anybody in the family got cancer, blah, blah, blah. And I was told, yeah, your dad died of prostate cancer. I went, what?
And you didn't tell me?
I said, if he was here now,
Yeah.
I would kill him dead.
Wow.
Yeah?
That's how deep it is. That's how. Yeah.
Man, it really rocked me. So now I heard he died of it. That means I got no hope. I'm probably gonna die too. Now anyway, they said to me, all right, Mr. Thompson, look, this is what we're gonna do. We give you these options. We'll give you a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
To think about your options. I said, I got something cancerous inside me.
Yeah.
I heard my father didn't have the operation. He didn't do anything. He didn't want to be touched.
Yeah.
So basically, he took it, right? I thought I want it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, I've got children.
Mm.
Yeah. I want it out. Just take it out because I do not want anything inside me that says cancer.
Yeah.
So this was March. I made that decision, and they booked me in for an operation called robotic surgery.
Yeah.
It was in August of that year, and I thought, okay, can't be that bad, you know.
Yeah.
We're in March and August is away, a little away. I thought, yes, good. But then I'm on my way to Birmingham, right, to do a show. I got a phone call whilst I was on the freeway, right, and it was the hospital calling me and saying, hi, Mr. Thompson, my name is so-and-so, from the oncologist department, and there's an opening for you, for the 6th of April, yeah, and I went, but that's only like 4 or 5 days to go, they said, and the tone was, we suggest that you take this appointment, so I heard that, and I thought, I ain't stupid, so something's not right, did a U-turn, head back to London, and eventually got myself prepped and everything for the operation.
So was you with a partner at that time?
Yeah.
And where did she come into it?
That was like really tricky. That's like another subject.
Yeah.
Because that was all right up until that point.
Yeah.
It was after the operation.
We'll come. Okay, carry on, brother.
Yeah. So anyway, I did a U-turn, as I said, and I got back to London, had my surgery done on April the 6th, and they told me I'd be in hospital just no more than a day or two. Yeah. Now, I was there in the hospital for almost 2 weeks. Yeah, because after the operation, I couldn't get out of bed, I couldn't walk. Yeah. I couldn't go, past feces. So I was blocked up. All right. And this is going like 4 days.
Yeah.
And I was in some excruciating pain.
Yeah.
More pain than I ever felt in my whole life in my back. So things weren't going right. But yet they said the operation was successful.
Yeah.
Successful means they removed the prostate successfully. Right,
the whole prostate,
and there was no microscopic prostate lurking around.
Yeah.
Okay, so that sounded all right. Then I said, so why am I feeling this way? Yeah, and they said, well, you obviously went through a very traumatic operation, and if you ever see the operation, you'll think, wow.
Yeah.
And you come back from that.
Yeah.
You gotta think, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway. I came out of the hospital. I had to cut it short because we ain't got a lot of time.
No, we got time, bro. You do your thing.
So anyway, I'm there in the hospital, and I was just going through agony. You looked at my face, I looked fine. Apart from my head looking swollen because the way they had me semi upside down, right, to do the operation. So all the blood is rushed to my head.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there and I'm thinking, wow, this is crazy. Yeah. I actually had prostate cancer. It still was going on in my head. So the dude that was in front of me, sorry, I keep using the word dude. The guy that was in front of me,
man.
He turned around and said, hey, man, we beat cancer. Yeah, great. When we get out, we're gonna have a drink. And I said, you're saying when we get out like we're in prison, right? I said, you're not my inmate,
Yeah.
Right? And anyway, he said to me, we're there talking, and I'm more quiet because I'm more like still in shock. And I'm just listening to him. And then he said to me he's tired, right? He wants to go, catch some sleep. I went, fair enough, right? Now, the next morning, I woke up and I looked over and I said, nurse, where is, blah, blah. And she said,
Oh no, bro.
well, she came over to me quietly and she said, well, unfortunately, he passed away last night.
Jeez.
I went, what? What do you mean he passed away? She said, yeah, but his operation was successful. She said, yeah, we removed his prostate and, the only problem was he was a heavy drinker, smoker, and we told him, make sure you're staying from drinking and smoking.
Yeah.
Before this operation.
Yeah.
He told us he did,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, his body was not able to withstand the traumatic operation that he had. So it just collapsed, and he passed away in his sleep. I was like, damn, bro, that's not all. There's another gentleman on the other side of me, and he just sat there staring at me, and he looked like a right racist. Yeah, bald head, everything. And then he looked at me, so I gave him back the eye contact, and he was like, do you mind if I come over, and sit down and have a chat? And so I said, all right. So the guy comes over, waddled with himself, and he sat by my side, and he says to me, do you ever think why you're in here?
Yeah.
I went, what a stupid question. We're all in here because we've got cancer. Yeah? And he went, no. But have you ever thought to yourself, because I heard you and your friend talking last night, your life seemed like it was really, fantastic, and all of a sudden, it just, boom, it just stopped. Do you think that God is talking to you? And I went,
oh, here we go.
the first thing I said in my head, oh God, the Bible bash it, right? But then he said, have you ever thought that God's probably trying to tell you to surrender? And because you're such a busy man, he wanted to put you in one spot so he could talk to you, relate with you. And I said, bro, I think this is the wrong time. Yeah, because I'm not feeling particularly religious right now. Yeah. And he said, no, it's not religion. It's just, I just feel I need to say this to you, that you should, surrender. And I said, surrender what? I said, what? Yeah? I'm lying here in bed. Why is it that people always have to call out to God when they're at their worst? Wrong time, man. I thought, I'm not into the religion right now because look at where I'm at. Yeah? And he said, it's nothing to do with being religious or religion. I just felt this urge to come over and talk to you because I don't know what you're going to go through from here. Yeah? So, after he got up, I said, all right, thanks, cool. And he went back to his bed. And his wife came in and she said, hi Jeff, how you doing? This woman know my name. Right? Well, obviously, husband must have been, I said hello to her, and they went up with their talk, and then she came over to me and said, oh, my husband said he came up and talked to you, and you probably thought he was a racist and so on. I said, of course I did. It's obvious. But he's a born again Christian. Yeah. I said, okay, I hear that, respect for that. And so she said, okay, you look after yourself, and let's hope when you get out we could all meet up. Yeah. And me, I'm polite. I said, yeah, cool. Anyway, I wanted to leave the hospital. I had enough, and I said to the doctors, why am I still here? They said, we cannot let you go home until you've passed feces. Yeah. Because you're bummed up. Yeah. And you can't feel it. But I was just eating like like a rabbit. Yeah, but I weren't weeing what I was, but obviously I couldn't feel it because I had a catheter on. So everything was just going into this bag. But my stomach was so full. And I'm like, yeah, but I feel all right. And they said, that's the reason why you cannot walk properly. Yeah. And you know, you have to get this out of you because it can cause serious problems. Yeah. So anyway, I remember saying to a friend of mine, who comes down and visit me, I said, look, bring me some mango.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I told him to bring me mango, but it just came to me. I bring me some mango.
Yeah.
And I said, make sure it's the ripest mango you can get. I don't want two.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he laughed.
Yeah.
And he brought it down. And I went, yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
And man, I sat there, I ate the skin and everything. You know, if I could eat the little hairs off the seed, I would have done it.
Yeah.
I ate all of that. And precisely half an hour after, yeah, that mango made this mango. And this, bro, when I look back, because you had to keep telling the nurse to come in and check to see what you done.
Yeah.
I look back and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't even think I want to flush that thing.
Yeah.
It was a mountain. I went, that came out of me.
Yeah.
And the nurse came in and looked and she said, oh my God, I can't believe one man could have this inside of him. Yeah, I did. Anyway, that was that. I said, look, there's evidence. Can I go home now?
Yeah.
Right? Obviously they said, yeah, you could, but I had to wait till the next day for the discharge and all that. Got a discharge. I went home. I still felt it was too soon, but I didn't want to be in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I got home, and I was in the hospital almost like the next day. Pain, severe back pains again. My body just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And so they rushed me back in the hospital. And then they said, after all the tests and everything, that I suffered a mini stroke.
A mini stroke?
A mini stroke. It's so minor.
Yeah.
Right? But they're talking to me, asking my name. And I'm talking to them, but what they could hear is me going,
oh my days, yeah.
Yeah. But on the other side, I'm hearing myself.
Yeah.
I'm answering them.
Yeah.
And they're asking me to do stuff, and I'm responding, but I'm not responding.
Yeah.
In their eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was another saga.
So it sounds like you're all in your Jack Jones, man.
Yeah, I had friends around me.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, I can't deal with this. But anyway, I got back home, and we're going into almost 3 weeks being at home now.
Yeah.
Right? And they said to me, you got to walk. Make sure you walk to exercise. And I didn't realize how bad I was suffering with what they called incontinence, urine incontinence. Yeah. So I had this catheter on me.
Yeah.
That thing, I couldn't sleep properly at night times.
Yeah.
Right? At times I wanted to just pull it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, look, I need to get this thing off me. So eventually they took it off and explained to me that now you don't have anything to, you're going to have to wear pads.
Yeah.
And I went like, I got to wear diapers? And then they said, yeah. So they gave me some pull-ups. And you know how demeaning that was?
Yeah.
And I went, oh man, I'm like a kid again.
Yeah.
All right. Now this time, remember, I'm alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And ain't nobody at home with me. I lied and told them that I got my partner at home that's gonna be looking after me.
Yeah, but was she at your own?
No. Right. I was alone, and I remember every time I drank, right through me. Yeah. Yeah. I coughed right through me. I laughed right through me. Yeah. Anything lifting the kettle with a lot of water, right through me. It's all a strain. Yeah. And knowing how fit I was,
it's
to know that I've gone to this.
Yeah, it's the worst. Yeah?
It started hitting me really bad.
Yeah.
Right? And then eventually hit the high street wearing khaki trousers. Right? And
why khaki trousers, man?
I'll explain. Yeah. So I got the khaki trousers on, and a stupid friend of mine, I hadn't seen him for a while. He comes up behind me, beep, 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 beep. Yeah? Frightened the hell out of me. Yeah? I mean, he drove like he was going to hit the sidewalk. Yeah? Yeah? I was like, what the? Anyway, I just felt a burst of urine. So I thought, nothing.
Yeah.
It's pads, it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
But then I felt a constant flow,
Yeah.
and it weren't stopping.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I saw the urine coming down my leg and into my trainers. And in front of me were school kids,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
pointing and laughing. All I was interested in, who's got a cell phone,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
And I thank God I didn't see nobody with a cell phone.
Yeah.
So I was tunnel vision. My friend jumped out of the car and said, bro, do you want me to drop you? Blah, blah, you okay, you okay?
Yeah.
I just said, yeah, I'm fine, just leave me alone, man.
Yeah.
And I walked home.
Yeah.
When I got home, I shut the windows, drew the curtains, switched off my TV, disconnected my phone, my land phone, turned off my cell phone. I went in my bedroom. I lay on my bed and I'm looking up and think, is this what I've become? Yeah? Is this what prostate cancer or cancer has done to me? This thing has robbed me. Yeah? I felt betrayed. And then my father was going through my head. Yeah? And all this time, I just didn't involve my children.
Yeah.
I kept my children almost out of it because I don't think they would understand what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And it's just like, one moment I just, there in my bed, I thought, I can't do this. This is a confident man talking,
Yeah.
all right? This is what shows what psychological things can do to you.
Yeah.
I can't do this. I remember I had one of those big bottles of Red Nephews. Yeah. I don't drink, but I just kept it in the home in case I had visitors.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had the tablets, painkillers and some other tablets which the doctor gave me. And I looked at it and I thought, might as well end it.
Yeah.
So I backed the tablets, I took them all. And like I always run joke and I said, yeah, let me invite Ray Nephew over for a drink.
Yeah.
I took the whole bottle and I drank it as if it was water.
Yeah.
Right? And I lay there, just waited.
Yeah.
And the pain that I felt, I thought, yeah, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Selfishness just came over me.
Yeah.
Yeah? I didn't care about nobody, I didn't want to care. And I felt to myself, I'm doing everybody a favor.
Yeah.
Because nobody would be having to worry about me, and so on. It's quite stupid. But
Wait, not a lot of people are stupid, my brother.
yeah,
It's like, cause me, I'll do the work around the house. I can lift with a screwdriver and I build my own shop and I do all kinds of stuff. I can't even imagine not being able to just put a nail in the wall. It takes away your manhood.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It takes away everything from you. So it's not being stupid at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, carry on.
Yeah, so anyway, I lay there and I was in like a really bad state. Remember, I still had these pads on,
Yeah.
I was wet.
Yeah.
So I didn't change or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember just having this excruciating cramping pain. And it caused me to get up and I held myself in a fetal position. And my stomach just like did some crazy movements. And I threw up.
Yeah.
And then when I threw up, it was like a mixture of blood and alcohol.
Yeah.
And then I threw up again. And then I saw some tablets that hadn't dissolved.
Yeah.
And I threw up again and it was just gross. It was just blood. Right? And I threw up and it was bitter and everything was just, and I was so disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
Not disappointed that I tried to kill myself, but disappointed that I didn't die.
Yeah.
I was and I'm there in all that muck. If you had came into my apartment, right, you had to cover your mouth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your nose. And I sat there looking at it.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm really losing it. And a second thought came in my head, to try and finish it off. But then all of a sudden, I don't know what it was, but it was something stronger than that second thought that said to me, hold on a minute, cancer didn't kill you. So why are you trying to kill yourself? And that's when the penny dropped. And I started questioning myself. I started, that's right. Yeah? So I picked up I remember seeing the lady from Macmillan gave me a card.
Yeah.
And she said to me, if ever I need any help, any support, just call her. And I put it down, so I didn't call her. So I thought, okay. Then eventually I called her, yeah? And she said, oh my God, Jeff, we'll be trying to get hold of you and blah, blah, blah. And, some had people come around. Yeah, I know they come around. I heard my door knocking, but I just totally ignored it. I don't know, my phone was off, so even they called me the answer machine. So I said, I was down at my sister, and my sister was looking out for me. Still, I was just lying, And as I'm talking, she said, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm fine. So she's like, you could talk to me. So she allowed me to talk, and she was just listening.
Yeah.
Until eventually I had to say, are you still there?
Yeah.
But all this time, I didn't tell her.
Yeah.
I tried to commit suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try and give it that man thing. Yeah, I'm dealing with this. At that time, I was in agony, man. I was like messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you ask me how I was, like she said to me, I said I'm okay.
Yeah.
But I wasn't okay. I was the big okay in the word broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. I needed help.
Yeah.
But somehow I didn't feel like she could help me as great as she was. Done with that call, I rang my friend who told me about his situation.
Yeah.
And I said to him, bro, I had cancer. I went, yeah, man. I went, yeah. I said, you didn't tell me it was going to be this bad? And he said, what do you mean? I said, I just felt like I wanted to I didn't tell him I did try. I wanted to take my life. This is madness. They said, Jeff, did you not see my wrist with bandage up? I said, yeah, I noticed it, but I thought maybe to do with the operation or whatever. I said, no, I tried to take my life the same way.
It just takes everything away from you, huh?
Yeah. So he's there talking. I still haven't told him what I did. Yeah. So I'm just listening to him. And as he's talking to me, I found myself healing. Realizing that, hold on, I'm not the only person that's gone through this. And then I started thinking, how many other men are going through this quietly? So one thing, you have cancer, but the other thing is the psychological side of having cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That psychological side that messes you up because, one, you suffer with erectile dysfunction. Right? So if you was a stallion one time, ain't gonna no stallion no more.
Yeah.
Right? You can't really socialize anymore because you start feeling everybody knows what you're going through.
You feel inadequate.
Yeah, and you're wearing pads and this and that. So a lot of psychological things started taking over, messing up your head.
So a lot of people fell away from you.
Yeah. Totally. And obviously, like I said, I was popular in the industry. I just saw my friends drop.
Yeah. Domino.
Yeah. And then I said, okay, you were never friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. But whilst talking to this guy, I then realized I'm getting stronger.
Yeah. And
I'm healing. And he said to me, man, talking to you just made me feel so much better. Yeah. And I said, me too. I said, man, talking is the first step to your healing.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course.
And then it continued, and I rang another friend of mine, and I was now being very open. Sorry. And
get some water.
No, it's not the water. It's emotional. I'm trying to deal with it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
Yeah, so I called a few other friends up who were going through the same thing. And they said, wow, man, I didn't know that I could speak to someone so openly because I'm very open. Yeah. I have non-judgmental conversations. Yeah. Like times like this, it's important for you to say, just keep it at a certain level because I would just tell you like it is. Yeah. So we're talking, and then suddenly there's about 5 of us communicating. Yeah. Right. And then it turned out to be 10. Yeah. Right. And now we're going into the COVID
lockdown.
Lockdown. I ended up having COVID, and I thought, okay, this is it. I'm gonna die now without
even trying. Yeah.
So it started really getting pretty bad. So we talked and we talked. Then suddenly we started doing the Zoom thing, and where I thought there would be 10 of us on Zoom,
Mm.
there's like 25 of us.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, so many black men with cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah? And I started feeling really, what do you call it, like I have a responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So each time I spoke to someone new, I felt, hold on a minute, this seemed to be my purpose.
Yeah. You got purpose now.
Yeah.
Mm.
So everything I had, all the material things got ripped away from me. Everything that clouded my vision and clouded my path got taken away from me. That's
Yeah.
why I looked at it.
Yeah.
Then the other guy came to my mind, the one in the hospital.
Yeah.
Apparently he died a couple of days after.
Wow.
Yeah. So his last message was delivering that to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I took that on board,
Mm.
and I felt, man, there is a God.
Mm.
That's how I felt, because in my loneliness, that's the only person I could call to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I used to hear a lot of people, oh God, if you're up there, do this for me and do that, and I'll do this. Bro, he actually did.
Yeah.
It did me good.
Yeah.
I wasn't alone. And I felt like he was now my director, directing me in the path that I was going.
Yeah.
Because everyone I spoke to, I felt almost like, well, not almost, I knew they were feeling better and stronger.
Yeah.
Right? The amount of men that I spoke to who were on the verge of committing suicide, and after I spoke to them, they owned up and said, man, if I hadn't spoken to you,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be here.
It's just that sometimes all it takes is that a couple of words
Yeah,
from someone from the heart. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even just a couple of words to just release.
yeah,
It's a release. We're always thinking about physical release. We're always thinking about sexual release.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But we never ever think about a spiritual.
spiritual.
A spiritual or mental release.
Yeah.
So when you got someone to speak, when you're speaking to someone, it's good. I wish this thing, this podcast here. I'm gonna want to do this again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna want to do this podcast again, man. I wanna do it again. I wanna get into it. Listen, guys, if there's anyone out there that's got a studio, a podcast studio, that you wanna give that to me for a couple of hours, yeah, I need to do this again, man, because there's so much traffic going past, and sometimes it gets a bit cloudy there. But this is some information. This information, man, it has to get out there, and it has to go worldwide. And people have to see and hear what you got to say. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, carry on, my bro.
Yeah, so, yeah, talking, like I say, is the first step to our
It's the key,
healing.
man.
Yeah, and the journey just started getting bigger and bigger.
Mm.
Right, I ended up having 50 guys turn up on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I found I was now speaking less, and
Yeah.
I give everybody opportunity to talk.
Yeah.
But most of these guys have all got one thing in common, not just cancer, but the fact of suicide. Yeah.
Yeah.
And suicide, one guy said, you know what? I said to him, bro, cry if you need to,
Mm.
because you're giving that tear for a reason.
Mm.
Yeah? I remember my father used to say to me, boy, what you crying for?
Mm.
Men don't cry.
Yeah. Big man don't
Yeah.
cry. The wrong geese had to cry for.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Right? But I've come to realize through going from what I went through, the strongest man, I used the term earlier, right, is the man that's in tune, right, with his whole emotion. Not even the femininity, there's another word, vulnerability.
Vulnerability. Yeah.
Yeah. A man that's not afraid to be vulnerable,
Yeah.
right? That's a strong man.
Yeah.
Yeah?
There's another one. Show me a man that's scared to look bad, and I'll show you a man can beat every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know? And then I always, said to myself, I'd speak to a lot of guys and I said, look, instead of dwelling on what happened yesterday, right? Take for instance, we have a car,
Mm.
right? You got one small, what do you call that thing? Mirror
Yeah.
in front of the car.
Mm.
Small one.
Yeah.
And what does that do? It makes you look back.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm.
So, looking back is telling you, just remember where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Because you're not going back that way.
Yeah.
And you have the big windscreen in front of you
Yeah.
that's saying forward.
Yeah.
So you got the big picture.
Yeah.
So there's a lot ahead for you.
Yeah.
Right? So move forward.
Yeah.
Alright? Myself in my situation, being okay financially, lost it. I then realized I gotta chase the purse.
Yeah.
No. See?
Yeah.
I gotta chase the purpose,
Yeah.
not the purse.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I chase the purpose will follow
Of course.
eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And then if I pass gone tomorrow, I would say I have fulfilled my
Yeah.
purpose.
You've done your. Yeah.
Yeah. So all that what I went through, it was me going to, let's say, the hard knock university.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To learn, teach somebody,
Yeah.
right, from my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So prostate cancer is not something for us men to be afraid of, right? It's one of the easiest cancer to cure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Caught early.
Yeah.
If you dilly-dally and you put pleasure over health,
Yeah.
then you'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. A man always thinks to himself that to be a man, you got to be able to satisfy the women in our lives.
Yeah.
You're still a man, even that thing gets chopped off. You're still
Yeah.
a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not about how you let's use the word then, have sex with a woman. There's a big difference. You got to make love.
Yeah.
Massive difference.
Yeah.
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 And making love doesn't necessarily mean you have to be able to.
Yeah.
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 So when I've gone through what I did with prostate cancer, some people say, how can you say that? What I'm about to say, it changed my life for the good. Yeah. Because thing that I didn't take for, which I took for granted, I no longer take it for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't put off what I'm going to be doing today for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I make every day that I wake up the best day of my life, come what may.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because believe it or not, every day we learn something new.
Yeah.
But because it's not big and significant, we don't treasure that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that seed that's growing that we should respect.
Yeah.
Because that seed, you water it, look after it, it will turn out into something massive and what do you call something that is beneficial for our life. Death itself, when I thought about getting close to it, we fear that because it's the unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Men fear the word cancer and prostate cancer because the unknown. But if we are aware of it,
Yeah.
and we talk about it more as men,
Yeah.
it becomes common knowledge
Yeah.
and it becomes easier to deal with.
Yeah, of course. And prevention as well.
Yeah, prevention is better than cure. And it breaks that taboo that most men have about the finger up the butt.
Yeah.
I go out there and I'm speaking to the guys on the road. Sometimes I'm at a subway, right, or train station, got my leaflets, handing them out. One guy said to me, "Did I just see that word cancer?" I said, "Yeah." No.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to know it. No, even just think about it.
Yeah.
What make it happen to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it does, but I'm not going to lie to you, it does play, it does play in your mind because when I first saw you, I saw you talking in that event, the Macmillan event. Because that's what we're doing now. I'm really deep into Macmillan event. Like, I've done a lot of things. I've cut a lot of celebrities. I've been flown out the country to cut. There's so much celebrities in green rooms, champagne flying, and all the rest of it. But that day was in a little church, and I was cutting men in a little kitchen.
Yeah.
Right, one-on-ones. That was the best barber experience I've ever had in my life, and I've been in barbering for like 38 years. Right, I said to you, I've been flown out by Nike to cut hair. NBA basketball players been cutting them, and that day was like, it stayed with me for at least 2 weeks.
Right.
Hearing different stories, people.
Yeah.
I was talking to people that's got prostate cancer. I was talking to people that had their prostate removed, I was talking to people that I'll never see again. Because maybe in about a month's time, 2 weeks' time, 2 days' time, they're gone.
Yeah.
And it made me think, I was talking to people, older men that came in the wind rush. Do you know what I mean? And it was one of the best days of my life. I went on to my wife and said, listen, that was amazing, man. And that's why I saw your story.
Right.
And you went a little bit deeper into your story. And this is good. And then after that, I said to myself, I need to work. Even though I haven't been diagnosed with it, do you know what I mean? I don't want to wait to get diagnosed with something for me to jump on it.
Yeah.
I just want to work on it and push it. We're having with Macmillan, we're having a day for 40 plus men that's 40 plus to come to the barbershop, get a free haircut, a free plate of food.
Right.
That's going to be in March, the end of March. If you keep looking at our DMs, we'll put it out there and tell you what it is. But 40 plus, we'll have people talk about prostate cancer and, you know, giving that leaflets and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And we begin like some West Indian food. We have a domino table and we just slapping some dominoes in here. Yeah, you feel free to come down. I'm sure you will.
What date is that?
That's going to be March. It's going to be somewhere to the end of March. It's going to be a Wednesday. We're looking at the last Wednesday in March, but it's not clarified yet.
Right.
Okay. I'll just. Where can people find you? Where's your organisation?
Well,
Sorry.
you'll find me basically on Instagram at the moment at Cancer Don't Let It Win.
Say it again.
All right, you can find me on Instagram at Cancer Don't Let It Win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or my email address, cancerdon'tletitwin@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on the verge of setting up a website.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be another avenue of access.
Yeah.
You know, I do have a cell number that you know, generally everybody could call and reach out to me.
Yeah.
I'll have to give that to you, but it's not on the top of my head.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Put it
But
out.
and at the present moment, you know, I'm trying to like fit in certain things. We got over 1,700 members on my database at the moment, and these are all men.
Yeah.
And what I've done is encourage women also to come and sit
It's
in.
important, man.
Yeah.
It's very important.
So they could understand why men are going.
It's very important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're like our mothers. They're our wives, but they're also they feed us, they nourish us, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And when we're crying, they always got a good shoulder or a good left breast to lie and put your head on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean. So any other links?
No, not at the moment. Because also what I do as well, I have a number of places that we do focus groups.
Yeah.
Right. So I do focus group in Vauxhall.
Yeah.
You know, Thornton Heath in Croydon.
Yeah.
Bermondsey, Lewisham.
Yeah.
And as far as Brighton.
That's brilliant, because what I'm going to do, I will put all the details or the focus groups. I'll put all the details in the write up under this video. Yeah. I just want to say, thank you so much for coming down, bro, and sharing your story. It's been a pleasure to have you here. I really want, and I really want to do a follow up.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I really want to do a follow up. I want to get a proper studio with no noise. I like the place, but it's so much noise. I want to get a proper studio with no noise and no distractions. And I want to do a follow up with you and maybe another guy. There's another Trinidadian guy that I want to bring on the set as well, so you can both. Yeah, he had his prostate removed. Do you know what I mean? But it'd be good to push this out, yeah. But thank you so much.
Hey, you're welcome
for coming down, man, and thank you sorry for the distractions and stuff. Yeah, but it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to look down the camera and tell those black men? Yeah. Is there any last words you got to tell that you want to share?
Yeah, I would basically, what I like to say to most men is don't let fear and embarrassment be the death of you. Okay, and remember, talking is the first step to your healing. If you don't talk, no one will know what you're going through, so no one will know how to help you. And hashtag cancer, don't let it win.
Is there anything that you want to tell the women out there the women that's married to men that might have cancer or their mothers?
Yeah, I mean, with most women, the issue that I find is that when a man has cancer, you find that they shut off and they isolate themselves, from you physically. It's not that they want to do that. They need that kind of non-judgmental support, okay? And one thing I would say to a lot of women, whenever you know someone that's going through prostate cancer or had a surgery or any kind of treatment, try never to say, I understand what you're going through, because that's like an arrow piercing the heart. Yeah, because it's a really difficult condition, to have, or situation to be in as a man. Yeah, it takes time for confidence to be built, and encouragement is what's necessary, and unconditional support is even more important.
Yep, so thank you so much again for coming on to Clippers Off Podcast, and we'll talk again, no doubt.
Yeah, most definitely.
Blessings.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace.